You have imagined, and now the seed is sown. Though the soil seems still, the roots have taken hold in the unseen. Do not look to the surface for signs, for the harvest does not first announce itself with a trumpet. It breaks through quietly, yet with force, shaped by the law that what you accept inwardly must express itself outwardly. This is not speculation, it is law. You may say, but I see nothing changing, and I tell you, that very statement is a confession of forgetfulness. The moment you imagined it, truly accepted it as real in your mind, it began. Not one moment is wasted in the unseen realm. All things are prepared in silence before they are shouted from the mountaintop of experience. The outer world may seem slow, but it is only reflecting what you dare to sustain inwardly. You must walk as if it is already yours, not with arrogance, but with quiet knowing, for when the inner man moves, the outer world bows to meet him. The universe, though it appears vast and impersonal, is, in truth, intimate and immediate. It hears your assumptions and moves mountains to honor them, but it does not always come in the way you expect. No, its genius lies in surprise, in the beautiful unfolding of what you could not plan. You may think it will come from the job, or the friend, or the letter in the mail, but it may come from a stranger's smile, a sudden meeting, a dream that whispers a solution. Do not try to force the channel. Do not say, it must come through this way or not at all. That is blindness. The power that shapes the stars knows no limits, and it will bring to you what you have accepted within, pressed down, shaken together, running over from places your mind could not imagine. You are not waiting on the universe is waiting on you, waiting for your full acceptance, your willingness to feel that what you desire is already so. And when that moment comes, when you dare to claim it and persist in that assumption, not even the passage of time can stop the return. What is yours by assumption is yours by right. The unseen hand is already arranging, moving, lifting, clearing the way. And when it comes, you will laugh, for you will say, had I known it would come like this, I would not have worried. But the journey was part of the blessing. The mystery was part of the magic. You are more powerful than you know, and what is yours is already on its way, not in the way you think, but in ways more perfect than you could ever plan. You may look around and see delay, resistance, or the absence of any visible change, and yet something far more potent is happening beneath what your eyes can detect. The moment you consented inwardly, the law began to work on your behalf. You need not repeat the command 1,000 times. It is not in the multitude of words, but in the feeling of certainty, the inner knowing, the sustained belief that the thing desired is already done. It is your consciousness that calls all things into form, and it is your assumption held faithfully that acts as the bridge between the invisible and the visible. You cannot beg, plead, or bargain with the universe, for it does not hear your words. It responds to your state of being. Are you dwelling in the state of lack, or are you living in the state of fulfilled desire, not once, not occasionally, but persistently? For every moment you return to the old state, doubting, fearing, rehearsing the absence, you give new life to the very thing you wish to escape. And yet, even this is forgiven, for the moment you shift, the whole world begins to rearrange itself again. What you are seeking does not come by force, it comes by surrender. Not surrender to circumstances, but surrender to the inner knowing that it is done. This is not passive resignation. This is active creation. To assume the wish fulfilled is to live from the end, to walk and speak and think as though it were already true. And in doing so you become magnetic, not by effort, but by alignment. All things then move to meet you, not because you chase them, but because they recognize you as their rightful owner. There is no power outside of consciousness. No condition has authority over the one who knows where the true power resides. You are not at the mercy of the world is at the mercy of your inner state. Stop giving your attention to appearances that contradict your desire. They are but shadows of previous assumptions. They have no real substance, and they must pass just as night must give way to dawn when the sun rises in your awareness. Do not concern yourself with the how. The mind always wants a map, a method, a step-by-step process, but this power does not operate by logic, it operates by law, and the law is simple. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Live in the end, dwell in the state that matches your desire. Everything else is details already being arranged in ways that will astonish you. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision, undisturbed by facts or time. You may think, but I have imagined before and nothing came, and yet I say, nothing imagined with conviction is ever lost. Every assumption, when held in faith, is a seed, and no seed goes unfulfilled unless you dig it up with doubt. You may not have noticed the moment the tides began to turn, but turn they did. Life does not forget your declaration. The universe does not mock your desire. It returns to you exactly what you dare to claim. And if the vision is delayed, it is only that more perfect arrangements are being made. Sometimes the delay is not in the world, but in you. Sometimes you are still dancing between the old and the new, still telling the story of lack, still identifying with limitation. But the moment you drop that identity, truly drop it, the shift becomes immediate. You do not need years of striving to change. Change can come in an instant, the very instant you assume a new concept of yourself. For that is the secret. You are not changing things, you are changing you. And the world is only reflecting you back to yourself. There are those who will say, be realistic. But what is realism if not agreeing to the limitations of the senses? What is realism if not bowing to the evidence of the past? Your future is not born of facts, it is born of faith. The one who walks in imagination is never at the mercy of what is, because they know what is only a shadow of what was believed. Change the belief and the shadow must follow. Even now, even in this moment, you can choose a new reality. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances are perfect, but now. Close your eyes and step into the scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. Feel it, touch it, breathe in that world as if it were more real than the one around you. And as you do, something shifts. Not out there, but in here, and that shift is everything. For once you change within, the outer world must bend to match. This is not fantasy, this is law. What you feel as true becomes true, not by accident, but by design. And the more natural your assumption becomes, the more inevitable the manifestation. Do not seek to control the outer, that is chasing shadows. Control the inner, and the outer must follow. That is the secret the world overlooks. Your imagination is the womb of reality. You will be repaid, yes, but not in the way you thought. For the universe repays not according to effort, but according to assumption. You may toil and sweat and strive for decades and still receive little if within you dwell in lack. But you may assume abundance, peace, love boldly without apology and receive in a week what others wait lifetimes for. Not because you are more deserving, but because you dared to claim it. That is the only qualification, belief. And when it comes, as it surely will, it will come dressed in ways you could not predict. The phone call you never expected, the opportunity that knocks without warning, the stranger who utters the very words you needed to hear. The world moves in mysterious precision to deliver your claim, and it is not your job to understand the choreography. Your only job is to remain in the state, unwavering, unshaken by appearances. There is no such thing as too late. Time cannot stop what is yours by divine right. Delay is not denial. Delay is often the disguise of perfection. If you only knew how intricately your desire is being prepared for you, how all things, even seeming setbacks, are playing a role, you would smile in the waiting. You would relax in the unknown. For the unknown is where the magic lives. Let others call it foolishness, let others scoff at the unseen. You will know by experience that what is imagined with faith becomes fact. You will have moments when you laugh in joy, not because of what has appeared, but because you remember that you are the cause and the world is the mirror. You cannot ask too much. You cannot dream too big. The limits are only those you place upon yourself. There is no virtue in smallness. Your birthright is abundance, in love, in joy, in peace, in wealth. But to receive it, you must become it. Not in pretense, but in true embodiment. You must feel it real until it becomes the most natural thing in the world. And when it does, you will not be surprised when it appears. You will say, of course, for it was already yours the moment you claimed it. The outer arrival was just the echo. The substance was in the assumption. Do not be dismayed by time. Time is only the servant of the eternal. The eternal is your imagination, and time bows to it. There are no delays in the realm of cause. The only delay is in your alignment. Return again and again to the end you desire. See it, feel it, live it within, and as you do, the bridge of incidents will unfold, often silently, often invisibly, but always faithfully. You may wake one morning, and everything looks the same, but something within will feel different. That is the sign. The shift has happened. The old man is gone. The new man has taken root. And from that point on, reality must obey. The characters may change, the scenes may rearrange, but the outcome is fixed, because you are fixed in the state of the wish fulfilled. And then the repayment comes, in ways that defy logic, in timing that humbles the intellect, in abundance that makes you weep, not from surprise, but from recognition. You will remember the moment you claimed it in silence. You will remember the moment you refused to let go. And you will understand that the real treasure was not in the thing received, but in the power realized. You will see the whole world differently, not as something to manipulate, but as something to reflect your inner world. And you will bless the delay. You will thank the process, because it brought you to this moment of awareness. And once you awaken to it, you can never return to the old way of thinking. You will never again plead with the world, for you will know the world is not the source, you are. The world is not the authority, you are. The world is not the gatekeeper, you are. And from that knowing, you live freely. You give generously. You walk lightly, for you are no longer bound by circumstance. You are moved only by vision, sustained only by faith, guided only by the silent whisper of your imagination. And it leads you, always perfectly, to the unfolding of your highest good. Even when the senses scream otherwise, even when the outer world offers no hint that anything has changed, you must hold fast to the unseen reality you have claimed within. That is the test, and that is also the triumph. To stand in the midst of lack and declare abundance, to walk through the shadows while affirming the light, this is not fantasy. This is mastery. This is the power given to you the moment you dared to imagine a new state of being and accept it as your truth. You are not required to explain it to others. They may not understand, and that is fine. They have not seen what you have seen in the secret place. They did not feel what you felt when you assumed your desire to be real. And so they will speak from their level of awareness, from their reliance on facts and history. But you have stepped into a greater dimension. You have learned the difference between truth and appearance. And because you live from that truth, the world has no choice but to bend. There will be moments when doubt knocks at the door. That is natural. It is the echo of old conditioning. But you must not let it in. You must not entertain it like an honored guest. Instead, return instantly to the state of your fulfilled desire. Dwell there. Speak from it. Feel it, not as a hope, but as a fact. And the longer you live from that inner place, the more natural it becomes, the more solid, the more undeniable. Eventually, the world outside must conform, not because you forced it, but because you became it. You see, the universe does not reward effort, it responds to identity. And identity is formed by assumption. If you believe you are lacking, striving, hoping, then all your efforts will mirror that belief. But when you assume you are already that which you desire to be, without a shred of physical evidence, you activate the creative principle in its purest form. You are no longer pushing reality, you are radiating it. It matters not how improbable your desire may seem. It matters not how long you have lived in the old story. In the eternal now, transformation is always available. You can rewrite your entire world by changing your inner concept. One assumption held in faith is worth more than years of external labor. For once the cause is changed, the effect must follow. That is the law, and it never fails. And so you walk through your days in quiet confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because you are aligned. You do not beg reality to change, you simply declare that it already has, and move as though it were so. You greet each moment not with fear, but with expectancy, knowing that the universe is always responding, always reflecting, always orchestrating, the scene that matches your innermost self-concept. And in the waiting, you are tempted to worry. Remind yourself the bridge is being built. Every event, every conversation, every coincidence is part of the path. You may not see the full picture, but you don't need to. You only need to persist in the assumption your inner conviction is enough. The how, the when, the through whom, those are not your concern. Leave that to the intelligence that governs the stars. It knows your desire, and it knows the most elegant path to bring it into form. You must become familiar with the feeling of fulfillment. Live in it as though it were your home, because it is your home. The more you dwell there, the more you carry that frequency into every room, every conversation, every moment. You shift timelines by shifting identity. You collapse delays by refusing to doubt. There is no effort required to become who you already are. There is only the releasing of resistance, the shedding of the old story, and the willingness to stand in your new reality, even when the evidence is yet unseen. And that is when the miracles begin. Not because you earned them, but because you aligned with them. Not because you forced the world to change, but because you changed, and the world could not help but reflect it. And these miracles will come quietly at first, whispers, nudges, subtle shifts, but soon they will crescendo into events that no logic could have orchestrated. That is the beauty of it. It is not your task to force the orchestra to play. It is your task to assume the music has already begun and move to its rhythm. Do not speak of your desire as something far off. Speak of it as something real and present. When you talk about it, talk from it. Do not say, I hope to have it one day. Say instead, I am grateful that it is mine. This is not delusion, this is creation. This is how the invisible becomes visible. The word, the feeling, the mental image, all of these are tools, sacred instruments through which the infinite expresses itself. Use them with purpose, use them with joy, use them to build your world. And when the people around you ask, how did you do it? You will not be able to give them a formula. You will simply say, I saw it within and walked in it before the world saw it without. That is the secret. The world is not your enemy, it is your mirror. It does not withhold, it reflects. The moment you assume a new state, the world begins to reflect that state back to you. Not always instantly, but always inevitably. And so if you want to change your life, do not fight the world. Change the conception of yourself. Dare to believe that you already are what you desire to be. Let that belief take root and persist in it through every season. Yes, storms may come, winds may shake the branches, but if your roots are deep in the truth of your fulfilled desire, nothing can uproot you. You will stand firm until the fruit appears, ripe and undeniable. It is a sacred thing, this power within you. It is not a tool to be used lightly, nor a game to be played with half-hearted intent. It is the same power that said, let there be light, and there was light. And it has been given to you. not to abuse, but to align with. When you use it in love, in faith, in boldness, the results are inevitable. You begin to live in a state of grace where all things work together for your good. And yet, even in your moments of forgetfulness, the law does not punish. It simply reflects. If you slip into fear, you will see fear. If you shift back to lack, you will meet lack. But the moment you return to the higher state, reality follows. There is no condemnation, only reflection. And this means that redemption is always available. Change is never more than one assumption away. You have not come this far to give up at the sight of temporary shadows. You have not awakened to truth only to bow to appearances. You are here to remember, again and again, that you are the operant power, that what you feel within, you bring forth, that the universe is your servant, not your master. It waits on your instruction, not your hesitation. It moves according to your inner vision, not your outer circumstances. And yes, it is coming, not as a result of striving, but as a result of being, not because you begged, but because you believed. It is coming in forms that will make you gasp, in timing that will humble your old ideas of control, in blessings that will wash over you like rain after drought. You will not need to chase it, you will not need to cling to it, you will simply receive, because you have already accepted. You are not a beggar in this universe. You are not a pawn of fate. You are the author, the dreamer, the one who speaks things into being and sees them appear. And as you deepen in this knowing, the world transforms before your very eyes, not because the world changed, but because you did. And so, let others wonder, let others watch. You will know what they cannot yet see, that the most powerful force in the universe is assumption held in faith, that what you embody within, you attract without, that the reward always comes not as the world gives, but as the Lord decrees, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, in ways you never expected, but in ways that leave no doubt that it was always yours. And when it comes, when that long-held vision stands before you, clothed in flesh, shaped in form, radiant in reality, you will not feel surprise, you will feel recognition. You will say, of course, because deep within you had already lived this moment 100 times. You had rehearsed its presence, embraced its nearness, touched it in the silence of your own imagination. The world will call it a miracle, but you will call it fulfillment. Fulfillment of the words spoken in stillness. Fulfillment of the seed planted in the invisible. Fulfillment of the truth that was always more real than any passing fact. You begin to see that it was never about the thing itself, never about the relationship, the money, the healing, the opportunity. Those were simply mirrors, reflections of who you chose to be in consciousness. And now that you have claimed your power, you realize you could be, do, or have anything, not because of privilege, not because of luck, but because you are the one who assumes. You are the one who decides. And the moment you accept that identity without compromise, the world becomes your canvas. You look back, not with regret, but with understanding. Even the delays were a gift. Even the obstacles were refining you, pressing you deeper into conviction, forcing you to release dependency on what is seen and trust in what is felt. You learn to walk by inner vision, not by outer sight. And that, more than the outcome, is the true treasure. You have remembered who you are. And now you walk differently. You carry the stillness of knowing. You do not rush to fix, to chase, to strive. You dwell in the state and let the world catch up. You no longer demand that others validate your dream. You no longer need signs and confirmations to believe. Your belief is the sign. Your faith is the confirmation. You hold your inner reality with reverence, for you know that it is holy ground. Every thought a seed, every feeling a decree. You have tasted the power of assumption, and you are no longer willing to live beneath your inheritance. You no longer speak of lack or impossibility or waiting for the perfect moment. You are the perfect moment. You are the one the world has been waiting for. You no longer ask, when will it come? You say, it is already here, and you watch as reality aligns itself to match that bold claim. Now understand that your only real work is to maintain the state, to return again and again to the end, to refuse to entertain lesser thoughts, to forgive the old identity, not by wrestling with it, but by no longer feeding it. The more you embody your new self, the less power the old story has. It fades, not because you... And there is no need to explain this process to others. Many will not understand. They will still be hypnotized by facts, still convinced that outer change must precede inner change. But you will smile gently. You will bless them, not with words, but with presence. And perhaps in time, your life will serve as their invitation, a quiet reminder that reality bends for the one who dares to assume. There is no more fear of loss, because you know nothing can be lost that is held in consciousness. There is no more desperation, because you understand that everything flows from within. Even when appearances contradict your desire, you do not panic. You remain still. You speak as one who has. You walk as one who knows. You rest in the awareness that it is done, and from that rest, creation flows. You don't need to scream at the mountain. You whisper and it moves. You don't need to beg the heavens. You declare, and the heavens respond. You don't need to force outcomes. You embody the state and the outcomes unfold. This is the power you were born with, not to be used once in desperation, but to be lived daily, silently, consistently. And it is so much simpler than the world has taught. It does not require rituals or effort or years of struggle. It requires willingness. Willingness to believe, to receive, to persist in the unseen until it becomes seen. Willingness to abandon the familiar if it no longer serves the future you are becoming. Willingness to say, I am, even when the evidence says you are not. Now, as you move deeper into this way of being, you begin to feel light, unburdened. There is no pressure, because you know that nothing you truly desire is outside of you. You are not trying to get. You are simply letting the world reflect what you have already accepted. And if it does not appear today, you do not waver. You know that the law is always working. You know that every assumption is a command. You know that the universe is faithful to what you feel as real. You become gentle with yourself. You do not judge the moments when you falter. You return to the state. You remember the truth. You practice the feeling, and with every return, the new state becomes more solid, more familiar, more real than anything else, until one day you wake up and your world looks exactly like the one you once only saw within. And then you dream again, you expand again, you assume again. For there is no end to creation, no ceiling to imagination. You have tasted your power, and you will never again settle for a life built on circumstance. You will build it from within, brick by invisible brick, scene by imagined scene, until the whole world reflects the masterpiece you carry in your heart. So now, walk forward, not in hesitation, but in boldness. You know now that creation is not out there, it begins within. Every fulfilled dream, every manifested desire, every unexpected blessing is simply a mirror of the assumption you held with unwavering conviction. The world is not the cause of your life, it is the effect. And you are no longer waiting for things to change. Let the others strive, let them chase outcomes and call it progress. You have discovered a higher way. You have remembered that your imagination is not fiction, it is the sacred script of reality. You no longer ask if the universe will repay you. You know it must. For what you assume with feeling and persist in with faith must unfold, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way that blesses you beyond measure. And when it does, when life begins to overflow with the very essence of your assumption, stand still and give thanks. Not because you are surprised, but because you are aware. Aware that everything came from within. Aware that you are the operant power. aware that you no longer live in reaction, but in creation. This is your inheritance. This is your truth. The universe has heard you, it has moved, it is delivering, not because you pleaded, but because you believed. And now it is done. Walk in it, feel it, live it, for the world is simply rising to meet the reality you have already claimed. You must understand that being kind to everyone, while appearing virtuous, may be keeping you from the true power of your thoughts. When you act with kindness to others out of a desire for approval, or because of a subconscious need to please, you are reinforcing a belief that you need the approval of others to feel whole. The truth is, the only approval you need is your own. When you choose to give kindness without first aligning it with your inner beliefs and desires, you risk creating a reality that mirrors your inner confusion and lack of self-understanding. Kindness, when it is aligned with your own truth, becomes a powerful tool of manifestation. You must learn to focus on the feelings of love and peace within you, rather than distributing it out to every person in an attempt to fill what seems like an empty space. Real power comes from the understanding that all of the love and kindness you desire in your life is already within you. It is not out there to be given away freely to all, but to be used as a foundation for creating your own world. You do not need to be kind to everyone to prove that you are a good person. The truth is, when you align with your true self, the universe or God responds with exactly what you need. You are not here to give away your energy to every person who asks for it. Your kindness should come from the deep understanding that you are whole and complete, and that your kindness is a reflection of your inner belief in abundance, not a sacrifice of your own essence. When you give kindness freely to others without the necessary internal alignment, you could be projecting a reality of lack, where you are giving away your energy to people and circumstances that do not serve your highest good. To stop being kind to everyone is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about recognizing that your kindness must come from a place of empowerment, not from fear or obligation. In every moment, ask yourself, am I giving this kindness because I believe in my own power or because I seek to gain approval? The answer to that question will determine whether your kindness is a force that elevates your life or one that drains your energy. The key is not to give to everyone, but to give to yourself first. By filling yourself with your own love, your own understanding, and your own belief in your divine nature, you will naturally radiate kindness that comes from a place of fullness rather than emptiness. You will stop giving away your power when you understand that kindness is not an act of sacrifice, but a reflection of the abundance within you. Your power lies not in being kind to everyone, but in knowing when it is appropriate to offer kindness and to whom. Choose wisely where you direct your energy. Choose wisely where you place your love. Stop seeking external validation and realize that the only kindness that truly matters is the one that comes from a deep understanding of your own worth. When you know your own value, you will naturally attract those who appreciate your kindness without ever depleting your energy in the process. You must learn that kindness is not something to be given away to everyone indiscriminately. It is a precious energy, one that comes from a deep place of understanding and self-acceptance. When you constantly pour your kindness into others, especially when it is not returned or appreciated, you are unconsciously reinforcing the belief that you are incomplete without their approval. The truth is that you are whole, complete, and powerful in your own right. When you give kindness from a place of need or a desire to be liked, you are creating a reality where you feel unworthy unless others validate you. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Every action you take is a projection of the inner world you believe to be true. If you believe that you must be kind to everyone in order to be seen as good or worthy, the universe will continue to reflect that back to you. You will attract situations where you give kindness freely, but it will never fill the emptiness you feel inside. This cycle will repeat until you realize that your kindness must come from a place of strength and self-assurance, not from a place of lack or need. You were never meant to pour yourself out endlessly in an attempt to satisfy the needs and desires of others. You were meant to be a vessel of love, and love cannot be poured from an empty vessel. To be truly kind, you must first recognize that the love you seek is already within you. When you align with your true self, when you embrace your own worth and power, kindness will flow effortlessly, but it will not come at the cost of your own well-being. When you give without first filling yourself up, you are teaching the universe that you are not enough on your own. You are sending the message that you need external validation to feel complete. But that is not the truth of who you are. You are the creator of your own reality. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings shape the world around you. If you are giving kindness to others to prove your worth or to earn love, you are denying your own inherent power. You are looking outside yourself for something that is already within. The key is to realize that the love, kindness, and support you seek from others are not external forces that must be earned. They are already within you. When you choose to give kindness, let it come from the fullness of who you are, not from a place of desperation or need. Your kindness must be a reflection of your own self-worth, a natural expression of the love and peace that you have cultivated within yourself. Only then will it be truly transformative, not only for you, but for those around you. Stop giving kindness to everyone, because not everyone deserves the energy you are offering. You must learn to protect your energy and direct it only to those who truly appreciate it. This is not about being selfish or cold-hearted. It is about recognizing your own value and ensuring that your energy is being used to create the life you desire. When you give freely to everyone without discernment, you are sending out a message that you do not value yourself enough to set boundaries. You are essentially telling the universe that you are willing to be depleted in order to please others, and that is not a path to empowerment. Imagine the power you would unleash if you stopped trying to please everyone and instead focused on nurturing yourself. When you begin to give to yourself first, when you put your own needs and desires at the center of your life, you will begin to attract people who appreciate and respect you. These people will not demand endless kindness from you, but will offer you their respect and admiration in return. Your kindness will not come from a place of obligation, but from a place of empowerment, and this will change the dynamics of all of your relationships. The universe operates on the principle of energy exchange. When you give your kindness to others out of a sense of obligation or to gain approval, you are participating in an unequal exchange. You are giving more than you are receiving, and this creates an imbalance in your life. To correct this imbalance, you must first recognize your own worth and the abundance that resides within you. Your kindness should not be given freely to anyone who crosses your path. It should be directed toward those who resonate with your energy, who appreciate the value of what you offer, and who reciprocate the kindness and energy you share. When you begin to realize that you are whole and complete without the need for others to validate you, your entire world will shift. You will no longer feel the need to be kind to everyone in an attempt to gain approval. Instead, you will become more discerning in where you place your energy. You will begin to understand that kindness is not something that should be handed out to everyone you meet, but something that is reserved for those who truly value it. This shift in perspective will not only protect your energy, but it will also allow you to attract the kind of people and circumstances that align with your true desires. It is essential to understand that your kindness is a powerful force. It is not to be squandered or diluted by giving it away to anyone who asks for it. Your kindness must be carefully nurtured and given only when it comes from a place of abundance and self-awareness. The world will reflect back to you what you believe about yourself. If you believe that you must be kind to everyone in order to gain approval, you will attract people and situations that require endless giving from you. However, if you recognize your own value and stop seeking validation from others, the universe will reflect back to you the love, kindness, and respect that you have for yourself. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs create your reality. If you believe that kindness must be given to everyone, you are unknowingly creating a reality where you give and give but never receive. This cycle will continue until you recognize the truth that kindness must come from a place of self-love and self-respect. You must first honor yourself, and then you will attract people who honor you in return. Your kindness will become a powerful tool for manifestation, but only when it is rooted in a deep understanding of your own worth. By choosing to stop being kind to everyone, you are taking control of your life. You are recognizing that your energy is precious and should not be given away to everyone who asks for it. When you begin to choose where you direct your kindness, you are setting boundaries that protect your energy and ensure that it is used in alignment with your true desires. This is the key to creating the life you truly want. In your daily life, begin to examine where your kindness is being directed. Are you giving it away freely to everyone in an attempt to be liked or to gain approval? Or are you choosing to give it only to those who truly resonate with your energy? When you shift your focus from pleasing others to honoring yourself, you will begin to see profound changes in your relationships and in the way you experience the world. Your kindness will become a reflection of your own self-worth, and the universe will respond in kind. By stopping the habit of being kind to everyone, you are stepping into your power. You are recognizing that your energy is valuable and should be used wisely. The kindness you give will no longer come from a place of need, but from a place of abundance. You will stop seeking validation from others, and instead you will create a reality where kindness flows effortlessly from you to those who truly deserve it. This shift in perspective will transform your life and help you manifest the reality you desire. When you stop being kind to everyone, you are not shutting off your ability to love or empathize with others. Rather, you are simply recognizing that the kindness you offer must be directed with wisdom and intention. Most people give kindness as a reaction to external situations, not recognizing that kindness, like any energy, must come from within and flow from a place of self-awareness and self-respect. When your kindness is offered without the awareness of your own inner power, it becomes a form of self-sacrifice. It is not the genuine, empowering kindness that comes from a place of abundance and wholeness. Instead, it becomes a way to earn favor, to be seen as good, or to gain something from others. This mindset, however, will only leave you feeling depleted. The world operates on a law of energy exchange. What you give is always returned, but when you give with the expectation of receiving something in return, you set yourself up for disappointment. When your kindness is given out of a desire to fill a void, it will never be enough. It will never be enough to prove your worth, nor will it be enough to truly satisfy your needs. You cannot depend on others' validation for your sense of worth. That is not how the universe works. You are the creator of your own reality, and when you realize this truth, you begin to see that all the kindness you seek is already within you. We often forget that kindness is a reflection of who we are. If you are constantly seeking to be kind to others as a way to earn favor, you are reinforcing the idea that you are incomplete without their approval. But you are not incomplete. You are whole and complete in your own right. It is only when you recognize your own worth that kindness flows freely and effortlessly from you. It is only when you understand that love and kindness are not commodities to be traded, but expressions of your inner state, that you will stop feeling like you must give it to everyone in order to prove your value. When you stop being kind to everyone, you begin to see that your kindness has value. You are no longer giving it away freely, hoping that someone will recognize it. You give kindness only when it aligns with your true self, when it flows naturally from a place of peace and understanding. This is when kindness becomes transformative, not just for others, but for yourself. When your kindness is aligned with your own sense of self-worth, it creates a ripple effect in your life. It attracts the right people, the right circumstances, and the right opportunities. Kindness should never be an obligation or something you give out of fear, guilt, or the desire to please others. The truth is, people will always take as much as you are willing to give, and if you are giving without boundaries, you may find yourself drained and unfulfilled. This is why you must stop being kind to everyone. Stop giving away your energy to people who do not value it. Instead, learn to recognize your own worth and reserve your kindness for those who appreciate it. When you are discerning about where and to whom you direct your kindness, you will notice a shift in the energy around you. You will begin to see that those who truly resonate with your energy will come to you. These are the people who appreciate your kindness and will give you the same in return. But those who are only looking to take will begin to fall away, and this is a good thing. You do not need to waste your energy on those who do not appreciate it. Your kindness is not a resource to be depleted. It is a reflection of the abundance within you, and when you recognize that, you will begin to see the power it has. Your ability to give kindness to others is directly tied to your ability to give kindness to yourself. The more you love and care for yourself, the more kindness you have to give. But when you give away your kindness to everyone without first filling your own cup, you are operating from a place of lack. You are sending the message that you do not have enough to offer yourself, and as a result, the universe will mirror that lack back to you. But when you start to honor yourself, when you begin to recognize your own worth, your kindness will flow naturally from a place of abundance. Your kindness is a reflection of your inner state. If you are giving kindness to everyone in order to earn love or approval, it is not true kindness. True kindness flows from a place of inner peace, inner abundance, and self-assurance. When you stop trying to be kind to everyone, you are giving yourself permission to be authentic and real. You are no longer seeking to please others at the expense of your own well-being. You are recognizing that your kindness has value, and it should only be shared with those who truly appreciate it. When you start to stop being kind to everyone, you are also making room for more meaningful and reciprocal relationships. When you stop pouring your energy into those who take without giving, you create space for those who can truly see you, appreciate you, and reciprocate your kindness. These relationships will be built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and love, and they will nourish you rather than drain you. It is important to understand that not everyone deserves your kindness, and not everyone should be the recipient of your energy. There are people who will take advantage of your kindness, using it for their own gain without offering anything in return. These people are not the ones you should focus your energy on. Instead, direct your kindness to those who offer you the same in return, who see your value and appreciate you for who you are. Your kindness should never be given out of fear, guilt, or the desire to please others. When you recognize your own worth, you will naturally attract the people who are deserving of your kindness. By stopping the habit of being kind to everyone, you are taking back your power. You are no longer giving your energy away to people who do not value it. You are recognizing that your kindness is a gift, and it should be offered only to those who truly appreciate it. This shift in perspective will not only protect your energy, but will also help you create more fulfilling and meaningful relationships. When you stop being kind to everyone, you stop seeking validation from external sources. You begin to realize that you are already enough just as you are. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone by constantly giving. Your kindness is a reflection of the love and respect you have for yourself, and when you recognize that, you will stop seeking it from others. You will no longer feel the need to be kind to everyone in order to feel good about yourself. Instead, your kindness will flow naturally from a place of inner peace and self-assurance, and it will attract the right people and circumstances into your life. The power of kindness lies in its authenticity. When you stop being kind to everyone, you start giving kindness from a place of authenticity. Your kindness is no longer a tool to gain approval or favor. It is a reflection of your true self. You will no longer feel drained or depleted by your kindness because it is coming from a place of abundance. This is when your kindness becomes a transformative force, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. When you stop being kind to everyone, you open yourself up to a new reality, one where kindness is an expression of your inner truth, not an obligation. You begin to recognize your own worth, and you stop seeking approval from others. As a result, your kindness becomes a powerful force that attracts the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances into your life. As you stop being kind to everyone, you start to acknowledge that kindness is not a blanket gesture that you give to all people indiscriminately. It becomes a conscious act chosen only for those who resonate with your energy and align with your values. You begin to understand that kindness is not an endless supply that you can just give away in the hope of gaining something in return. It is a reflection of your inner state, a reflection of your own self-love and self-worth. When you are constantly trying to be kind to everyone around you, you may find yourself running on empty, giving away pieces of yourself in an attempt to fill a void that no amount of external kindness can ever fill. You must first learn to be kind to yourself, to nourish your own soul, before you can genuinely offer kindness to others. Self-kindness is the foundation that supports all external kindness. Without it, your acts of kindness may become superficial, driven by the desire for external validation or the fear of rejection. If you are constantly seeking approval from others by being kind to them, you are inadvertently telling yourself that you are not enough as you are. This disconnection from your own worth leaves you feeling empty and unseen, no matter how much kindness you give. True kindness begins with the realization that you are already whole. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone, and you don't need to prove your value through endless acts of kindness. When you stop being kind to everyone, you stop looking outside of yourself for validation and approval. You start to look within. You begin to realize that kindness is a reflection of your inner state. It flows from the abundance of love and compassion that you cultivate within. When you are rooted in your own sense of self-worth, your kindness becomes an expression of your true nature, not an attempt to gain something from others. You no longer feel compelled to offer kindness in exchange for acceptance, because you understand that you are already worthy of love and respect, simply by being yourself. By being more selective about where and to whom you direct your kindness, you begin to set boundaries that honor your own needs and desires. This doesn't mean that you are withholding kindness from others. It simply means that you are becoming intentional about how you share it. You recognize that your energy is precious, and that it should be directed toward those who can appreciate it and reciprocate it. You stop being the source of endless energy for people who take and take without ever giving back. You no longer allow others to drain you, because you understand that your kindness must flow from a place of balance, not depletion. This selective approach to kindness is not about being selfish or cold-hearted. It is about protecting your own well-being while still being compassionate. It is about choosing to invest your time and energy in relationships that are mutually supportive and respectful. When you stop being kind to everyone, you begin to attract people who value your energy and appreciate your kindness. These relationships are based on mutual understanding, respect, and love, rather than the desire to gain something from one another. You no longer feel the need to prove your worth through your actions. Your worth is inherent, and it is no longer tied to what you can give to others. As you stop being kind to everyone, you also stop seeking approval from external sources. You begin to recognize that your worth is not dependent on the validation of others. This shift in mindset is incredibly liberating. You no longer feel the need to bend over backward to please others, to be the source of everyone's happiness. You stop looking to others for reassurance because you have already found that reassurance within yourself. This newfound sense of inner security and self-love is a powerful force. It allows you to give kindness freely, but only when it comes from a place of alignment with your authentic self. This shift from external validation to internal validation changes the way you approach relationships. You begin to attract people who are also aligned with their true selves, people who value authenticity and mutual respect. These relationships are no longer about what you can give to one another to gain approval, but rather about two whole people coming together to share love and support. When you stop being kind to everyone, you make space for deeper, more meaningful connections. You are no longer giving away pieces of yourself to people who do not appreciate or reciprocate your kindness. Instead, you are nurturing relationships that are built on respect, love, and a mutual understanding of each other's worth. When you recognize that kindness is not something to be given away indiscriminately, you also begin to recognize that your time, energy, and resources are valuable. You start to make conscious choices about where to invest these things, and you no longer waste them on people who are not aligned with your values. This selective approach to kindness allows you to preserve your energy and protect your peace. You begin to live with more intention, focusing on the relationships and experiences that bring you joy and fulfillment, rather than spreading yourself thin in an attempt to please everyone. As you stop being kind to everyone, you also begin to see the world differently. You stop viewing kindness as something you must give to everyone in order to be seen as good or worthy. Instead, you begin to see kindness as a tool for creating deeper, more meaningful connections with those who appreciate and value you. Your kindness becomes a reflection of your inner peace and self-love. It is no longer something you give away to gain approval. It is something that naturally flows from the abundance within you. In the process of learning to stop being kind to everyone, you will also learn to set boundaries with others. You will no longer allow people to take advantage of your kindness or your time. This is not about being harsh or unkind. It is about recognizing your own worth and respecting your own needs. You begin to realize that you are not responsible for everyone's happiness, and you stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You understand that true kindness comes from a place of inner peace and balance, and it cannot be sustained if you are constantly giving without receiving in return. As you stop being kind to everyone, you also begin to take responsibility for your own happiness. You no longer rely on others to fill the void within you. You understand that happiness comes from within, and it is your responsibility to cultivate it. When you stop seeking external validation through acts of kindness, you begin to realize that you are the creator of your own reality. You have the power to choose how you show up in the world, and you have the power to choose who you share your energy with. This realization is incredibly empowering because it frees you from the need to please others and allows you to live authentically. When you stop being kind to everyone, you stop seeing yourself as someone who must constantly give in order to be worthy of love and acceptance. You begin to understand that you are already worthy, just as you are. Your kindness is not something to be earned or proven. It is something that flows naturally from your true self. You no longer feel the need to bend over backward to be liked or accepted. Instead, you live in alignment with your authentic self, and you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are. The more you stop being kind to everyone, the more you will realize that kindness is not a transaction. It is not something you give in exchange for something else. Kindness is an expression of love, and it should flow freely from a place of abundance. When you stop giving away your energy to people who do not appreciate it, you will find that your kindness becomes more powerful, more meaningful, and more transformative. You will attract people who value your energy and reciprocate your kindness. Your relationships will be more fulfilling, and your life will be filled with love, joy, and peace. As you step into this new awareness of selective kindness, you begin to recognize that kindness, when given freely and intentionally, becomes a magnet for the right kind of people, the ones who genuinely resonate with your energy. It is not about drawing people to you out of obligation or manipulation. Instead, it is about attracting relationships and experiences that are in harmony with who you truly are. You stop engaging in relationships because you feel obligated or because you think you need to please someone. Instead, you form connections based on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. This is the power of intentional kindness. Being selective does not mean you stop being compassionate or that you become cold or indifferent. Quite the opposite. It means you are no longer wasting your time and energy on people who have no respect for your boundaries or your well-being. You are discerning about where and how you direct your energy, recognizing that kindness is not an infinite resource, but something that needs to be cultivated and protected. It is an act of self-preservation to not give kindness to everyone, because when you offer it indiscriminately, it dilutes its power, and over time you can become emotionally drained, even resentful. True kindness, when given from a place of abundance, has the ability to heal, to inspire, and to connect in ways that superficial gestures never could. In this journey, you start to realize that people's reactions to your kindness are not an indicator of your worth. In the past, you may have believed that being kind to everyone would earn you love, admiration, or validation, but you begin to see that such validation is fleeting and unreliable. The world is full of people who take advantage of others' good nature, expecting kindness without giving anything in return. You don't need to be one of those people who constantly give, expecting something in return. When you stop giving kindness just to receive something back, you align with a higher vibration of love and abundance. Your kindness becomes a reflection of your inner peace, not a transaction that needs to be reciprocated. The more you embrace this idea, the more empowered you feel. The world no longer holds power over your emotions or your actions. You start to see that true power lies in your ability to choose. Choose where you focus your energy, whom you share your time with, and how you direct your kindness. You become the creator of your own experiences, no longer at the mercy of others' expectations or judgments. As you begin to shift your focus inward, you realize that the way people respond to you is less important than how you feel about yourself. It is only when you feel worthy and grounded within yourself that your actions, whether they be acts of kindness or any other, become authentic and truly impactful. You may also begin to notice that when you stop being kind to everyone, your relationships become more authentic. You stop trying to please people out of fear or obligation and instead focus on forming genuine connections. You start to engage with people who share your values and who appreciate you for who you are. The shallow relationships that were based on superficial kindness and approval begin to fall away, making room for deeper, more fulfilling connections. This shift is liberating. No longer do you feel that you need to earn others' affection by endlessly giving of yourself. You come to understand that real relationships are built on mutual respect and understanding, not on one person constantly giving while the other takes. This deeper understanding of kindness allows you to become more attuned to your own needs. You start to recognize when you are giving too much, when you are overextending yourself in an attempt to please others, and when you need to step back and focus on yourself. This awareness is empowering. It enables you to protect your energy and your peace. When you stop giving kindness to everyone, you start to realize that your emotional energy is valuable. You are no longer just offering it to anyone who asks, but instead you direct it toward people who will appreciate it and reciprocate it. This makes your acts of kindness more powerful because they come from a place of fullness, not depletion. At the same time, as you stop being kind to everyone, you begin to release the need for external validation. You stop seeking approval from others and recognize that your worth is not determined by how others perceive you. You realize that you are worthy of love and respect simply because you exist. You are worthy of kindness because you are a divine being, a unique expression of the universe. This realization frees you from the shackles of people-pleasing and the anxiety that comes with trying to maintain everyone's approval. When you stop being kind to everyone, you start to live life on your terms, guided by your inner knowing and your own sense of self-worth. You may also notice that as you stop being kind to everyone, you become more attuned to your own desires and goals. Your focus shifts from constantly pleasing others to cultivating a life that aligns with your true purpose and passion. You stop letting the needs and wants of others dictate how you spend your time and energy. Instead, you begin to prioritize your own growth, your own well-being, and your own dreams. This shift in focus is a powerful one. It allows you to break free from the limitations that others' expectations may have placed on you. You start to see that your dreams are valid and that you are worthy of pursuing them, regardless of whether others approve or not. In the process of learning to stop being kind to everyone, you also learn to trust yourself more deeply. You start to trust your intuition and your inner guidance. You no longer rely on others' opinions or advice to validate your choices. You begin to trust that the decisions you make are aligned with your highest good, even if they do not always align with what others want or expect. This self-trust is the foundation of your personal power. It is the key to creating a life that is authentic and fulfilling. As you continue on this journey, you may also notice that your interactions with others begin to change. You attract people who are aligned with your energy and your values. These people appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. Your relationships become more balanced and reciprocal. You stop feeling like you have to constantly give in order to earn love or approval. Instead, you experience the joy of giving freely, without expectation, because you know that you are already whole and worthy of love just as you are. The more you honor yourself, the more others will begin to honor you. When you stop being kind to everyone, you stop compromising your authenticity in an attempt to fit into others' expectations. You stop contorting yourself to make others comfortable, and instead you stand tall in your own truth. This authenticity is magnetic. It draws people to you who resonate with your energy and who appreciate you for who you truly are. No longer do you feel the need to prove yourself through acts of kindness. You simply are, and that is enough. You begin to attract the people, experiences, and opportunities that align with your true self, because you are no longer hiding behind a facade of constant giving and pleasing. In the end, as you stop being kind to everyone, you start to realize that kindness is not something you give away in order to receive something in return. It is not a transaction, but an expression of your inner love and abundance. When your kindness flows from a place of fullness, it has the power to heal, to transform, and to connect. But it must come from a place of balance, not depletion. You must first give to yourself, honor your own needs, and trust your own worth before you can truly give kindness to others in a way that is meaningful and impactful. When you stop being kind to everyone, you stop living for others and start living for yourself. You begin to understand that your worth is inherent, and that kindness, when given freely and intentionally, becomes a powerful tool for attracting the right people, experiences, and opportunities into your life. As you progress in understanding that not everyone deserves your kindness, you begin to notice a subtle shift in your perspective. It is no longer about withholding kindness or being rigid in your approach to others. Instead, it is about conserving your emotional and mental energy for the people and experiences that truly deserve it. You stop giving your precious energy to people who don't value it, and in doing so, you make space for those who do. You are not just protecting yourself, you are empowering yourself by making more intentional choices about where you focus your love, care, and attention. In this space of empowerment, you begin to notice that those who truly resonate with your energy will begin to show up in your life. The people who are in alignment with your true self will appear, and you will form relationships based on a deeper understanding of one another. These relationships will not be transactional, based on what each of you can get from the other, but instead will be genuine, based on mutual respect, trust, and love. In this space, you stop seeking to please others, and you stop believing that kindness is a tool you must use to gain approval or validation. Instead, you allow yourself to just be, knowing that your worth does not depend on others' approval of you. As you cultivate this discernment, you begin to see that your kindness is not meant to be spread thin over everyone you meet, but instead should be reserved for those who truly respect and appreciate it. You are not being unkind by withholding your energy from those who do not deserve it. In fact, you are showing them the greatest kindness of all, by allowing them to learn their own lessons, by letting them face their own consequences, without the crutch of your constant giving. Your self-awareness grows, and you realize that by choosing where to direct your energy, you are becoming a more deliberate creator of your experiences. This practice of being more selective with your kindness is not just about setting boundaries with others, it is also about setting boundaries with yourself. You begin to look inward and ask, am I being kind to myself? Am I allowing myself the space to rest, to rejuvenate, to feel my emotions fully without the pressure to constantly give to others? It becomes clear that self-kindness, self-compassion, and self-care are just as important, if not more so, than the kindness you extend to others. You cannot give what you do not have. If your own well is dry, you will not be able to offer genuine kindness to anyone, no matter how much you may want to. There is power in the pause, in the space between your interactions with others. It is in these moments of stillness that you reconnect with your true self. It is in these moments that you understand the depths of your own worth. When you no longer feel the need to constantly give to others, you start to recognize the beauty of simply being, the power of simply existing as you are. It is a profound understanding that you do not need to earn love or approval. You are worthy of kindness, respect, and love simply because you are alive. You do not need to go out of your way to please others, to gain their affection or approval. The more you step into this understanding, the more you free yourself from the cycle of people-pleasing and constant self-sacrifice. The people who will truly appreciate you will find their way to you. They will see your worth not because you have given everything you have to them, but because you have stood firm in your own value regardless of external circumstances. They will appreciate your kindness because it is offered from a place of abundance, not depletion. You will no longer feel the need to chase after affection or approval because you have become the source of your own validation. In this new way of being, you will find that true connections are forged through authenticity, not through the constant effort of pleasing others. You will attract people who resonate with your energy, who understand the power of mutual respect and reciprocity. These are the relationships that will nourish you and support your growth. There is freedom in releasing the need to constantly give and please. It is as though you are stepping out of the chains of external validation and stepping into a space where your value is already inherent. You realize that kindness, while beautiful, is not something you need to offer indiscriminately. You have the power to choose who gets to experience your kindness, who gets to witness your generosity of spirit. And in choosing more carefully, you are actually giving your kindness more power and intention. It is not wasted or scattered, but offered in a way that is aligned with your highest good. As you move deeper into this awareness, you will find that the people who are meant to be in your life will naturally begin to show up. These are the people who will not demand your kindness because they are already aligned with the energy you are cultivating. They will not ask for your love because they will recognize that it is already present within you, overflowing and ready to be shared, but only when it is right. Your relationships will be more balanced and fulfilling because they are based on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and authenticity. You will also start to see how your own relationship with yourself shifts. When you stop being kind to everyone, you are no longer placing yourself in a position where you are constantly giving, constantly sacrificing. You begin to make space for your own needs and desires, knowing that they are just as valid as anyone else's. You stop looking to others for validation and start looking inward for the approval and love that you have always needed. You become your own best friend, the one who offers you the love and kindness that you had once sought from others. In this new way of being, kindness is not something you are forced to offer or something you feel you need to give in order to gain approval. It is simply an expression of your authentic self offered to those who are deserving and in alignment with your energy. It is no longer a transaction, but a natural overflow of your inner peace and strength. As you become more selective about where you place your energy, you stop feeling drained and depleted. Instead, you feel energized and empowered, knowing that your kindness is making a difference in the lives of those who truly value it. The more you learn to hold your energy in this way, the more you will be able to show up as your most authentic self in all areas of your life. You will no longer be bound by the need to please others, and instead you will radiate the kind of energy that attracts the right people and opportunities. Your life will become a reflection of the boundaries you set, the kindness you offer, and the respect you have for yourself. It is through this journey of self-awareness, self-love, and discernment that you come to realize that the greatest gift you can give yourself and others is the ability to honor your own worth, and to offer kindness not as an obligation, but as a powerful choice, made from a place of fullness and alignment with your true self. Understanding when to withhold kindness is not about being harsh or unloving. It is about recognizing your own value and choosing where to invest your emotional and mental energy. By discerning who truly deserves your kindness, you are not only protecting yourself, but also empowering yourself to create relationships based on mutual respect and authenticity. You no longer need to seek approval or validation from others because you have learned to honor and love yourself first. As you embrace this practice of selective kindness, you begin to attract people and experiences that resonate with your true self. Ultimately, by setting boundaries and choosing when and where to give, you preserve your energy and cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections. In this space of self-awareness, your kindness becomes a powerful tool, offered with intention, purpose, and love, creating a life that reflects your inner peace and strength. When you find yourself in a place of worry, in a space where the weight of uncertainty feels unbearable, remember that worry is but an illusion. It is a belief in something outside of you, something external, that you think can threaten your peace or your success. But I tell you this, you are the creator of your reality. You are not bound by the limitations of the world around you. The power to change your circumstances lies within you, and it lies in your ability to believe. When you truly understand that the universe is constantly responding to your thoughts, your words, and your beliefs, you begin to see that what you fear and what you worry about are mere reflections of your inner state. You are the architect of your experiences. Your imagination is the blueprint. Whatever you choose to envision with feeling, with certainty, that is what will come to pass. The key is trust that the solution is already there. It is already formed. You do not need to see it in front of you for it to exist. It is already unfolding in the unseen world, ready to manifest. Your job is to believe that it is done. Let go of the worry that clouds your mind, for it serves only to create more of what you do not desire. Instead, shift your focus, shift your belief, and know with every fiber of your being that the answer is already in motion. When you learn to surrender your need to control every detail, to fix everything with your limited understanding, you open the door to the divine intelligence within you, the intelligence that knows no boundaries and sees no impossibility. This intelligence works in perfect harmony, and when you trust it, you allow it to lead you to your desired outcome. Each moment is an opportunity to realign yourself with what you wish to create. Every thought, every feeling is an invitation to choose peace over worry, faith over fear. By aligning with the feeling of already having what you desire, you are making space for it to come to you effortlessly. Do not look for signs of the solution in the physical world. The world of form will always lag behind the world of thought. What is created within your mind first will soon be revealed in the world around you. This is the law of creation. What you believe, you will see. And what you do not believe, you will not perceive. The more you worry, the more you call into existence the very things you fear. But the more you trust, the more you allow the universe to work on your behalf, without resistance, without doubt. In this moment, choose to stop looking for external evidence of your problems. Instead, look within. Know that the universe is responding to your inner state of being. If you believe that God, or the divine intelligence that created you, has already solved the situation for you, then it is done. You must remember, you are not separate from the source that brought you into being. You are an extension of that infinite power, and as such you are not helpless. You are not abandoned. You are not left to fight your battles alone. The divine is with you, guiding you every step of the way. All you need to do is trust, release the worry, and believe in the unseen forces working on your behalf. As you align your thoughts with the certainty of your desired outcome, you will begin to see it unfold before you. The universe will respond to your inner knowing, and what seemed impossible will now be possible. Do not let doubt or fear stand in your way. Your trust in the unseen is the key that unlocks the door to your desires. Let go of the worry, for it is unnecessary. God, the divine intelligence, has already solved it for you, and all that remains is for you to allow it to come to you. Trust in this divine process. Trust that it is already done, and watch as your world shifts in perfect alignment with your belief. As you sit in silence, you might begin to notice the inner chatter, the worries that appear uninvited, that fill your mind with doubts and uncertainties. It may seem like you're trapped in a cycle of anxiety, where the more you think about a problem, the more it grows. But let me remind you that this is the nature of the mind. It amplifies what you give it attention. The key then is to shift your attention, to guide your focus back to the one thing that holds the power to transform any situation: your belief. You are a conscious creator. This isn't just a philosophical statement or a motivational slogan, it is a fundamental truth. The reality you experience is shaped by your inner world, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. If you can change the way you perceive a situation, you can change the experience of it. The moment you decide to believe that God, the source, or the infinite intelligence that surrounds and permeates everything, has already resolved your issue, you enter into the flow of creation. This is not a matter of forcing things to happen or struggling to make them come into being. This is the power of allowing. Allowing yourself to believe that the divine has already taken care of everything for you. You are not a passive bystander in your own life, waiting for some external force to intervene. You are an active participant, and your faith, your trust, your belief in the unseen workings of the universe is what will manifest the solution. We live in a world where we are conditioned to seek immediate results, to look for signs, to measure progress with our senses. But the truth is, the most important changes occur in the unseen, in the realm of thought, imagination, and faith. When you feel anxiety or worry arise, it is simply a sign that you have momentarily forgotten this truth. You have momentarily chosen to focus on what you lack, rather than what you have. You have chosen to give power to the problem, rather than the solution. The solution is already within you. It is not something that is coming from outside of you. It is not something that requires effort or struggle. It requires faith. It requires a willingness to trust in what you cannot yet see. For what is unseen is just as real, just as powerful as what is visible. Your desires, your dreams, your solutions, they are already formed in the invisible world, and it is only a matter of time before they become visible to your physical senses. Think of the seed planted in the ground. You cannot see the roots growing, nor can you see the sprout pushing its way through the soil. But it is happening. It is happening because the seed has the potential within it to grow, and the earth has the ability to nurture it. Similarly, your desires are like seeds, and the universe, the divine intelligence, is the earth that nurtures them. You do not need to watch and worry over the seed. You need only to trust in the process and know that in time it will sprout, it will grow, and it will bear fruit. Worry is a form of resistance. It is your mind's attempt to control the outcome, to grasp at solutions that have not yet come into form. But the more you try to force something, the more you push it away. This is the paradox of creation. You cannot manifest from a place of tension, from a place of resistance. The energy of worry only creates more of what you do not want. It clouds your mind and fills your heart with doubt. But when you release the need to control, when you step into trust, the universe flows to you effortlessly, as it was always meant to. It's important to remember that you are not alone in this process. You are never abandoned, never left to struggle in isolation. There is an intelligence greater than your own mind at work in the universe, a power that sees the beginning and the end of all things. This power is working on your behalf, behind the scenes, aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities to bring about the perfect solution for you. Your role is not to make it happen, but to trust that it already has. Your role is to believe that the solution is already in place, even before you can see it. As you begin to shift your focus from worry to trust, you may notice a sense of peace begin to settle in. This peace is the result of releasing control and surrendering to the divine intelligence that is always at work. When you feel at peace, you are in alignment with the flow of abundance and solutions. It is like stepping into a river and letting the current carry you, knowing that it will take you to where you need to go. The more you resist the current, the harder it becomes to move. But when you relax, when you trust, the journey becomes effortless. Your thoughts, your imagination are not mere fantasies, they are powerful tools of creation. The thoughts you hold in your mind are not idle, they are setting in motion the forces that will shape your reality. So when you find yourself slipping into worry, remind yourself that what you focus on, you create. Shift your focus to the belief that everything is already resolved. Imagine the situation working out perfectly, as if it has already happened. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy of the solution already in place. In doing so, you are aligning your inner state with the divine order of the universe, and this alignment will manifest in your physical world. You see, the problem you face is not a reflection of some failure or inadequacy on your part. It is simply an opportunity for you to exercise your faith, to believe that all things work together for good. It is an opportunity to trust in the process, to trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, even when you cannot see it. And the more you trust, the more you release the need for control, the more you allow the divine to work through you, the quicker the solution will appear. At times, the solution may come in ways that you do not expect, in forms that you did not anticipate. But this is the beauty of the process. When you trust in the unseen, you open yourself to receive in ways that your limited mind cannot conceive. The divine intelligence knows what is best for you, and it is always working on your behalf, guiding you, leading you to the path that will bring about your highest good. Your job is simply to trust and believe that it is already done. So when worry tries to creep in, when doubt begins to take hold, remind yourself of this truth: everything is already resolved. The answer is already in motion. Your part is to trust and believe. Let go of the need to know how it will happen, when it will happen, or what form it will take. Just know that it is already done. The universe is responding to your belief, and in time the solution will be made manifest. In the stillness of your mind, in the peace of your heart, you will feel the truth of this. You will feel the knowing that all is well, that the divine is always with you, guiding you and working to bring about the perfect resolution. Trust in this knowing, for it is the foundation upon which all manifestation is built. Remember that you are never alone, and you are always supported. The divine intelligence that governs the universe is always with you, always guiding you, always responding to your thoughts and beliefs. Your role is not to worry, not to doubt, but to trust. Trust that the solution is already here. Trust that it will unfold in perfect timing. Trust that God, the divine, sees your struggle and has already resolved it for you. Let go of the worry, release the fear, and allow yourself to walk in the certainty that everything is already taken care of. Trust in the divine process. Trust in yourself, and trust that the answers you seek are already on their way. When you think about the challenges you face, remember that every challenge is not a problem to be solved through worry, but an opportunity to strengthen your faith. You must understand that challenges are not indicators of something wrong or out of place. Instead, they are part of the divine order of life, pushing you towards a deeper realization of your own power, your own potential, and your connection to the infinite intelligence that governs all things. In every moment of uncertainty, in every moment of worry, you are presented with a choice to trust or to fear. Fear comes when you allow yourself to look only at the external world, where things appear out of your control. But trust comes when you look within, remembering that the universe, or whatever force you believe in, is always working on your behalf. You do not need to understand every detail of the process. You need only to trust that it is already done. Trust is the foundation upon which all manifestation is built, and when you trust, you allow the forces of the universe to work on your behalf without interference. The beauty of life lies in the unknown. It is in the unknown where your desires take shape, where solutions form, and where the divine begins to weave together the perfect circumstances to bring you what you need. This is a process that happens beyond your awareness, in the realm of the unseen. The moment you let go of trying to control everything, the universe steps in and begins to arrange things in ways you could not have predicted. Think of the way nature works. A seed is planted, and over time the seed grows. It does not worry about whether or not it will break through the soil. It simply grows, trusting that the conditions will be right for it to flourish. The seed does not try to force itself to sprout, it simply knows, on a deep level, that it is destined to do so. You, too, are like that seed. The desires within you, the things you wish to create and manifest, are already planted in your heart. They are already forming in the unseen, and all that is required of you is trust. Trust that the divine intelligence knows when and how to bring them into your life. Your life is not a series of random events, nor is it a series of challenges that you must endure alone. No, your life is a carefully orchestrated dance between you and the universe, a dance in which your thoughts and feelings are the lead. When you think thoughts of peace, of trust, of gratitude, you invite more of these experiences into your life. And when you think thoughts of worry and fear, you create the very things you do not want. The power is always in your hands. If you can simply shift your perception and embrace the understanding that everything is already resolved, that the universe is already working to bring about your highest good, you will feel a sense of relief wash over you. This relief comes because you are no longer resisting the flow of life. You are no longer trying to figure out how things will work out. Instead, you are allowing the universe to take care of the details, while you focus on trusting and believing that everything is coming together in perfect harmony. The moment you let go of worry is the moment you align yourself with the divine plan. Worry is a form of resistance to the natural flow of life. It is an unwillingness to trust that everything is working out for your good. But when you choose to trust, you choose to release that resistance. And in doing so, you open yourself up to receive the solutions, the blessings, the guidance that are already on their way to you. When you trust, you surrender to the knowing that the solution is already in place and that everything is unfolding in perfect divine timing. There is an immense power in your ability to surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means giving in to the flow of life. It means allowing the forces of the universe to work in perfect harmony with you, rather than against you. When you surrender, you no longer have to worry about the how or the when. You no longer have to stress over what will happen next. You simply trust that everything is moving toward your highest good. One of the most important things to remember when you are faced with a difficult situation is that you are not alone. You are never abandoned, never left to struggle on your own. There is a higher intelligence, a divine presence, that is always with you, guiding you every step of the way. It sees your pain, it knows your desires, and it is always working to bring you what you need. The more you trust in this intelligence, the more it can work through you to bring about the changes you desire. You must learn to pay attention to these subtle signals. These are the signs that God is working on your behalf. These are the moments when the universe is gently guiding you in the right direction. Trusting these signals is an important part of the process. The more you trust them, the more you will experience a deeper connection to the divine and a greater sense of alignment with your desires. It is easy to get caught up in the chaos of the world, to let the noise and confusion of everyday life drown out the still, quiet voice of divine guidance. But when you take the time to quiet your mind, to listen to the whispers of your heart, you will find that the answers you seek are already within you. You do not need to look outside of yourself for the solution. The solution is within you, and it is always available to you. You need only to trust that it is there and that it will come to you in the right time. This trust is not blind faith. It is the certainty that comes from knowing that you are an integral part of the divine plan. You are not separate from the source, you are one with it. And because you are one with it, everything that belongs to you will come to you in perfect time. This is a law of the universe, a law that cannot be broken. Everything that you need, everything that you desire, is already on its way to you. Your job is simply to trust and to allow. As you continue to walk this path of trust, you will begin to notice that the more you believe, the more the universe will respond to you. Opportunities will open up in unexpected ways. People will appear to help you along the way. Solutions will present themselves when you least expect them. And all of this will happen because you have chosen to trust. You have chosen to believe that the solution is already in motion. You must understand that your worry, your fear, only serves to slow down the manifestation process. It is like trying to walk forward while looking backward. The more you focus on the past, on past failures, on past mistakes, the more you hold yourself back. But when you focus on the present moment, on the belief that everything is already resolved, you align yourself with the flow of the universe, and everything begins to fall into place. There is no need to force the outcome. There is no need to chase after your desires. Your desires are already yours, and all you have to do is allow them to unfold. As you trust, as you believe, you will find that everything you need is already within your reach. It is simply waiting for you to recognize it, waiting for you to believe in its presence. The universe is always responding to your thoughts and beliefs. When you worry, you are sending out a signal of lack. But when you trust, you are sending out a signal of abundance. The universe cannot help but respond to the energy you are putting out into the world. Therefore, it is essential that you focus on trust, on faith, on knowing that everything is already taken care of. The moment you do this, you will begin to notice a shift in your reality, a shift that reflects the trust you have placed in the divine. Trust is the key to unlocking everything you desire. When you trust, you release the need to control. And when you release the need to control, the universe can work through you in ways that you could not have imagined. The solution to your problem is already in motion. You need only to trust that it is already done. Let go of the worry and allow the divine to do the work for you. Trusting in the divine plan means accepting that things may not always unfold in the way you expect. Sometimes the path may appear unclear, or the solution may seem to come from an unexpected direction. But this is where faith comes into play. Faith is the unwavering belief that what is meant for you is already on its way, regardless of the circumstances that surround you at the moment. You must accept that the universe knows far more than you can comprehend. The challenges you are facing today are often part of a bigger, grander plan that you may not yet see. What you perceive as obstacles are actually stepping stones that lead you toward a higher purpose. When you stop worrying and start trusting, you release the need to control the how and the when. The universe operates on divine timing, and its wisdom far exceeds our understanding. We often try to rush things because we think we know what is best for us, but by doing so we may block the very things that are already being set in motion. Trusting the timing of the universe means letting go of impatience and being patient in knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time. The beauty of life is in its unfolding, and everything that has been planted within you will come to fruition in its perfect moment. In moments of doubt, remember that nothing is truly lost, and nothing is ever outside the realm of possibility. Life in its essence is a constant state of change. Every moment is an opportunity for transformation. There are no permanent failures, there are only lessons and opportunities to grow. When you trust in this process, you realize that the difficult situations you find yourself in are merely temporary, and they are serving to push you to evolve into a better version of yourself. You may not always understand the reason for your struggles, but with faith, you can trust that they are preparing you for something greater. When you learn to embrace the idea that challenges are not burdens, but invitations to grow, you begin to see the world through a completely different lens. There is an inherent peace that comes from knowing that you do not need to figure everything out. The weight of the world does not rest on your shoulders. You are co-creating your life with a power much greater than yourself. The universe is constantly supporting you, guiding you, and moving things around you to align with your highest good. The more you trust in this, the more you begin to see evidence of this in your life. You will notice synchronicities, signs, and moments of divine intervention that seem to happen at just the right time. This is not coincidence. This is the result of your trust in the universe's ability to work for you. The mind, when left unchecked, tends to focus on the negative. It seeks to anticipate the worst possible outcome and feeds into feelings of fear and worry. This is why it's important to actively practice trust. You must train your mind to think in alignment with your desires, not your fears. When you focus on trust, you shift your energy from one of lack to one of abundance. You begin to recognize that the universe is not withholding anything from you. Instead, it is always providing exactly what you need in the moment. Everything that you want is already available to you. It is merely a matter of trusting in its arrival and remaining open to receiving it. There is a profound strength that comes from knowing you are never alone in your struggles. You are connected to something greater than yourself. The universe or God, or whatever term you prefer, is with you in every moment. Every decision you make, every desire you hold, every challenge you face is guided by a force that is working for your benefit. When you trust in this connection, you understand that you are always supported. You are never without resources, even when it feels like you are. Your mind may tell you that you are in lack, but the truth is that everything you need is already within your reach. Your job is simply to trust that it will be revealed to you at the perfect time. Trust is not passive. It is an active practice that requires you to continuously choose to believe that everything will work out for you. It requires you to take inspired action, even when you are unsure of the next step. You do not need to know how things will unfold, but you do need to be open to the opportunities that will present themselves along the way. Trusting the process means following the signs, trusting your intuition, and taking the next step even when the entire path is not yet clear. The more you do this, the more you will see the way forward illuminated, and the more you will recognize the guidance that is constantly available to you. You must also understand that the process of trust requires a deep level of surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up, but rather letting go of the need to control the outcome. It is about releasing the grip that fear has on your mind and allowing life to unfold as it is meant to. When you hold on too tightly to the idea of how things should be, you prevent the universe from working its magic. The moment you let go and allow yourself to flow with life, you will begin to see things move with ease and grace. Surrendering is about trusting that the universe knows what you need better than you do, and it will provide it to you at the perfect moment. Trusting that God will solve your problems means surrendering your fear and embracing peace. It means stepping out of the cycle of worry and allowing yourself to rest in the assurance that all is well. You do not need to understand everything, nor do you need to predict the future. The universe or the divine already knows how to bring you everything you desire. You only need to hold the belief that it is already done and trust in the process. You might be wondering, what if it doesn't work out the way I think it should? The answer is simple: it doesn't need to. The way things unfold may be different than what you expected, but that does not mean it is any less perfect. The divine plan always knows what is best for you, and sometimes that means the solution is even better than what you originally envisioned. When you trust that the universe has your best interests at heart, you can release the need for specific outcomes and be open to receiving blessings in whatever form they may take. By trusting in the divine process, you also learn to trust yourself. You are a part of the divine intelligence, and you are capable of manifesting your desires. Trusting yourself means knowing that you have the strength, wisdom, and guidance within you to navigate any situation. It is about recognizing that the answers you seek are already within you, and by aligning your thoughts and actions with the truth of your inner power, you will naturally attract the circumstances, people, and resources that are aligned with your desires. In every moment, you are faced with a choice to worry or to trust. To worry is to believe that you are separate from the divine and that you must figure everything out on your own. But to trust is to believe that you are one with the divine, that you are supported by the universe, and that everything you need is already in motion. The more you practice trust, the more you will experience peace, clarity, and guidance. The more you trust, the more you will see that everything is always working out for your highest good. Let go of your worries, for they serve no purpose. Instead, choose to trust. Trust that God is working for you, that the universe is supporting you, and that everything you need is on its way. Trust that the challenges you face are only temporary, and that they are leading you to something greater. Trust that the solutions are already within you, and that they will reveal themselves when the time is right. When you trust, you open yourself to the abundant flow of the universe, and you allow life to unfold with grace and ease. In moments of uncertainty, remember that you are never alone. It is important to remind yourself that you are a co-creator with the universe and the universe is always working on your behalf. When you take the time to pause and reflect, you can feel this deep connection, this sense of knowing that you are part of something much larger than yourself. Trusting in this connection means understanding that every step you take is supported by an invisible force that works to guide you toward your highest good. You are not here by accident, you are here on purpose. Everything in your life has a reason, and everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Sometimes when things don't go as planned, we begin to question our path, our decisions, or our worth. The mind can become overwhelmed with doubts and fears, but you must take a step back and remind yourself that your path is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. You don't need to control every outcome. You don't need to have every detail figured out in advance. The divine knows exactly what you need, and it will bring those things to you at the right moment. The more you trust, the more you open yourself to receiving what you have been waiting for. It's essential to accept that the universe, or God, works in ways that often defy human understanding. The plans that are set in motion for you may not always align with your initial expectations. There may be moments when you feel lost or confused, but that is part of the process. Trust is not about having a perfect understanding of every single step. It's about knowing that you are guided and protected. It is about releasing the need to control every outcome and allowing life to unfold in the way it is meant to. This surrender is where true peace is found. Trusting God to solve your problems requires a mindset shift. We often look at our challenges as problems to be fixed. But what if we started seeing them as opportunities for growth? Each challenge is a doorway, a path to something greater. The more you trust that every difficulty is leading you to a better place, the more you'll find yourself stepping forward with confidence, knowing that the universe is supporting you every step of the way. The pain or discomfort you feel now is temporary, and it will lead you to a new level of understanding and fulfillment. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped worrying and embraced this trust wholeheartedly. Imagine waking up every day knowing that everything you need is already in motion. You would be able to approach your day with peace, clarity, and excitement rather than anxiety. You would not be afraid of setbacks because you would understand that they are simply a part of the process. You would see every challenge as a stepping stone, leading you toward greater wisdom and strength. This is what happens when you fully trust the process. Life becomes more effortless, more joyful, and more aligned with your true purpose. In the world we live in today, it's easy to become caught up in the rush and noise. We are bombarded with messages telling us to go faster, do more, and achieve more. This external pressure can sometimes cause us to lose sight of what really matters. It can lead to worry and stress, causing us to question if we are doing enough, if we are enough. But the truth is, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to have everything figured out. All you need to do is trust. Trust that you are already on the right path. Trust that the universe is aligning everything you need. Trust that you are enough, exactly as you are. Every time you choose to trust, you make space for miracles to happen. The more you trust, the more you will see the hand of the divine guiding you. You will begin to notice the signs, the synchronicities, and the moments when things fall into place effortlessly. These are not coincidences, they are the universe's way of showing you that you are on the right path. The more you trust, the more you will see how everything is interconnected. You will realize that there is no such thing as luck or chance. Everything is part of a divine design. There will be moments when fear creeps in, when doubt arises, when the mind tries to convince you that things are not going to work out. But in those moments you have the power to choose. You can choose to let the fear consume you, or you can choose to trust. When you choose trust, you step into a place of power. You are no longer at the mercy of your thoughts or the circumstances around you. You are in control, because you know that everything is already working in your favor. The more you practice trust, the easier it becomes. It is a muscle that you strengthen with each day, each moment that you choose to let go of worry. Trust becomes a natural part of your being. It becomes the lens through which you view the world. You begin to see everything as a sign, everything as an opportunity, and you begin to approach life with a sense of wonder and curiosity rather than fear and doubt. Your worries do not change the outcome. They do not speed up the process or make things happen faster. Worry only keeps you stuck, trapped in a cycle of uncertainty. But trust, on the other hand, opens you up to infinite possibilities. It allows the universe to work on your behalf and brings you closer to the life you have always desired. When you choose trust, you are choosing peace. You are choosing to release the burden of controlling everything and allowing the divine to take over. And in doing so, you are setting yourself free. Each day is an opportunity to practice trust. It doesn't matter how difficult things may seem or how long the road may appear. Trust is not about waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about choosing to believe that everything is already in motion. Trust is about knowing that you are exactly where you need to be and that everything is unfolding perfectly. It's about letting go of the need to have every answer and embracing the belief that the answers will come when the time is right. As you continue on this journey of trust, you will notice that things begin to change. Your perspective shifts and your reality starts to reflect your inner beliefs. The more you trust, the more you align yourself with the flow of the universe. You become a magnet for the things you desire, and the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to melt away. Trust opens the door to endless possibilities. And when you walk through that door, you will discover a life that is full of joy, peace, and abundance, because you chose to trust. So, in this moment, release your worries. Let go of the need to control. Let go of the fear that things won't work out. Trust that they will. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, and that everything you desire is already on its way. You don't need to know how it will come or when it will come. All you need to do is trust that it will. And when you do, you will find that life has a way of bringing you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. When you stop worrying, you create space for the miraculous to occur. Worrying is a form of resistance. It is holding tightly to a belief that things cannot work out or that you are not worthy of the good that you desire. But when you release that resistance and allow yourself to trust, you align with the flow of the universe. You are in harmony with your desires, and the energy you send out returns to you multiplied. Trust is the key that unlocks the door to your manifestations. Trust is what allows you to step into your power and embrace your worthiness without hesitation. The journey of trusting in God, the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, is not about blind faith without any action. It is about aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with your belief that everything is already working in your favor. Trust is not passive, it is active. It is about fully participating in the creation of your reality. It is about taking inspired action when you are led to do so, knowing that the universe is guiding you every step of the way. Trusting that the steps you take are exactly the ones that will lead you to where you need to be. When you find yourself in moments of doubt, when your mind wants to revert back to worry and fear, take a deep breath and pause. Take a moment to reconnect with your inner knowing. Remember that you are not alone in this journey. You are always supported. The universe works in mysterious ways, but it is always working for your highest good. Every challenge, every obstacle, every setback is not a punishment, but a lesson that is preparing you for the next level of your growth. You are being molded, shaped, and refined by the experiences that you go through. Trust that these experiences are necessary for your expansion, and trust that everything is working together for your benefit. When you surrender your worries and trust that things are happening as they should, you let go of the need to force or control the outcomes. The desire for control often stems from a place of fear, but fear is not your true nature. Love is, and when you operate from a place of love, you are able to release control and trust the process. You allow your dreams to unfold in their own time, trusting that they will come to fruition when the time is right. You stop forcing, stop pushing, and allow the energy of the universe to take care of the how and when. Remember, you are a powerful being. You are not a passive participant in the events of your life. You are the creator of your own reality. The moment you trust that everything is already being taken care of, you begin to see the world differently. You begin to notice the signs, the synchronicities, and the moments of alignment that confirm you are on the right path. Trusting allows you to recognize that there is a divine order to everything, even when things seem chaotic or uncertain. The power of trust is that it opens you to receive in ways that you never expected. Trust creates room for abundance to flow into your life in unexpected and miraculous ways. When you stop trying to control every aspect of your life, you allow the universe to surprise you, to show up in ways that you could never have anticipated. This is the beauty of trust. When you let go of worry, you release the barriers that prevent you from receiving your blessings. You create space for miracles to enter your life. You may have been taught that you need to work hard for everything you want, that you need to strive and struggle to get ahead. But the truth is that struggle is a product of fear. When you trust, you stop struggling. You stop chasing after things, and you begin to attract them effortlessly. The energy of the universe works on your behalf when you align yourself with trust. You begin to see how everything you need is already in motion, even when you cannot see it with your physical eyes. Trust means having faith that the unseen is just as real as the seen, and that your desires are already on their way to you, even if they haven't manifested yet. There is power in being still and knowing that everything is going to work out. There is power in releasing the urge to constantly strive, to constantly check and double check. Trusting means having the courage to let go and know that what is meant for you will find its way to you. The more you practice this trust, the more natural it becomes. You start to recognize the signs, the signals, and the intuitive nudges that guide you. You start to see how things align in perfect timing, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. It's not falling apart, it's falling into place. The road to trust is not always easy, especially when fear and doubt are loud voices in your mind. It takes courage to trust when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. But that is the moment when your trust is truly tested and strengthened. When you choose to trust despite the circumstances, you are choosing to honor your higher self, to align with the wisdom of the universe. Trust is not about waiting for things to look perfect. It is about knowing that everything is working out, even when you can't see the full picture. When you worry, you are closing off the very energy that can bring about your desires. Worry keeps you stuck in the past or focused on a potential future that hasn't even happened yet. Trust, on the other hand, anchors you in the present moment. It allows you to stand firm in the belief that everything you need is already being provided for you. Trust opens the door for you to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step you take is divinely guided. Every time you release worry and choose to trust, you are actively co-creating your life. You are stepping into your power and allowing the universe to work its magic on your behalf. You are creating space for miracles to unfold. And as you do this, you will begin to see how things start to shift. Opportunities will appear where there once were obstacles. The people you need will show up when you least expect them. The resources you require will come to you at the perfect moment. And all of this will happen because you made the choice to trust, to surrender, and to believe that everything is going to be okay. So whenever doubt creeps in, whenever the worry starts to consume you, remember you don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to solve every problem. You don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Trust that God, the universe, or the divine forces at work in your life are already working to bring you everything you desire. Your job is to trust, to surrender, and to allow. When you do this, you will find that life becomes easier, lighter, and more joyful. You will realize that the solutions to your problems are already in motion, and you simply need to allow them to unfold in their perfect time. Trust that everything will be solved, and know that you are always supported. When you live in a state of trust, you begin to notice how things align with your desires. The universe has a way of bringing you what you need when you let go of the fear and resistance that often accompany worry. This state of trust doesn't mean that challenges won't arise, in fact they will. But it means that you approach those challenges from a place of peace, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for transformation. You see, the essence of trust lies in knowing that all experiences, both the good and the difficult, are ultimately for your benefit. They are shaping you, molding you, and refining you into the person you are meant to become. When you embrace this truth, you can face life's challenges with a sense of calm, knowing that they are not obstacles to your progress, but stepping stones to your ultimate success. The key is to trust in the process. Trust that everything is unfolding as it should, and trust that the divine has your back. Trust also means letting go of the need to control how things unfold. Often we become attached to specific outcomes or timelines. We want things to happen in a certain way, and when they don't, we worry. But when you release the need to control, you open the door to infinite possibilities. The universe is not bound by the limitations of your mind. It has the ability to bring you what you desire in ways that are far beyond your imagination. Trusting means surrendering the how and the when, and allowing life to unfold in the most beautiful and miraculous way possible. This surrender doesn't mean that you sit idly by and wait for things to happen. Trust is not passive. It is an active state of being. It is knowing that you are aligned with your highest good and that everything you do is a reflection of that trust. When you trust, you take inspired action. You do not force or push, but you move forward with confidence and faith, knowing that you are being guided toward the right opportunities, the right people, and the right situations. Trusting means that you listen to your intuition, that you follow the nudges that come from within, and that you move forward with a sense of purpose, even if you don't know exactly where the path will lead. The act of trusting also frees you from the burden of stress and anxiety. Worry is a heavy weight to carry, and it is often a sign that you are trying to solve problems that are not meant to be solved yet. Trust allows you to release that weight, to take a step back, and to see things from a broader perspective. When you trust, you no longer feel the need to figure everything out on your own. You trust that help will arrive when you need it. You trust that the resources, the opportunities, and the support you require will come to you at the perfect time. Trusting also means trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, your decisions, and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Often we doubt ourselves and second-guess our choices, but trust is about embracing your inner wisdom and knowing that you are capable of navigating whatever challenges arise. You are more powerful than you realize, and when you trust in yourself, you tap into that power. You stop seeking approval or validation from others because you know that you are guided from within. It's important to remember that trust is not something that happens overnight. It is a practice, a way of being. The more you practice trust, the easier it becomes. Start by trusting in small things. Trust that the sun will rise tomorrow. Trust that you will find the answers you need. Trust that the universe is working in your favor. As you build your trust muscle, you will begin to see how it positively impacts all areas of your life. Relationships, finances, health, everything begins to flow more easily when you live in trust. Trust also involves having a deep sense of gratitude for where you are in life right now. When you trust, you can look at your current circumstances and appreciate the journey that has brought you to this point. You understand that every experience, every success, every failure, every twist and turn has been an essential part of your growth. Gratitude deepens your trust because it shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to love. When you are grateful for what you have and trust that more is on its way, you are creating a vibration that attracts even more blessings into your life. As you begin to trust more deeply, you will notice that your life begins to reflect this shift. The worries that once consumed you will no longer have power over you. You will approach each day with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that you are supported, that you are loved, and that everything is working out for you. The struggles will still come, but they will no longer feel overwhelming. Instead, you will see them as opportunities to grow, to expand, and to deepen your trust even further. When you truly trust, you allow yourself to receive. Many of us are so accustomed to giving, to doing, to solving problems that we forget how to receive. But receiving is just as important as giving. Trusting allows you to open your heart and your mind to the abundance that is already on its way to you. It allows you to accept the gifts and blessings that life has to offer, knowing that you deserve them. You are worthy of all the goodness that the universe has in store for you. You are not alone in this journey. The universe is constantly working on your behalf, There is a greater intelligence guiding you, supporting you, and loving you every step of the way. All you need to do is trust that it knows the way. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it doesn't look the way you thought it would. Trust that every step you take is leading you to where you need to be. And above all, trust that you are always supported, always loved, and always guided. As you continue to practice trust, you will find that worry no longer has a place in your life. It will lose its grip on you, and you will find peace in knowing that everything is already working out. You are not just a passive observer in this process, you are an active participant. The power of trust lies within you, and as you tap into that power, you will begin to see how everything in your life begins to transform. Trust is the key to unlocking the miracles that await you. Trust that everything you desire is already on its way, and know that the best is yet to come. Trust is the foundation upon which a life of peace, abundance, and fulfillment is built. When you let go of worry and choose to trust in the divine flow of life, you open yourself to endless possibilities. By surrendering control and embracing the unknown, you align with a higher power that guides you toward your highest good. Trusting allows you to move forward with confidence, knowing that everything is working in your favor, even in the face of challenges. It frees you from the burden of fear and stress, and it empowers you to step into the fullness of your potential. As you practice trust, you create a ripple effect in your life that transforms your relationships, your work, and your personal growth. You become a magnet for blessings, opportunities, and solutions, all because you trust that what you need will always be provided. Remember that the divine is always at work behind the scenes, orchestrating events and bringing people and circumstances into your life for your benefit. So the next time worry begins to creep in, remind yourself that you do not need to solve everything on your own. Trust that it will all unfold perfectly, at the right time, in the right way. You are never alone, and with trust in your heart, you will find peace in every moment and joy in the journey ahead. Keep trusting and watch as the universe delivers everything you have asked for and more.